for everyone turned up to listen to some random scouser talk about crazy adventures in the jungle, so thank you very much. And all the military lads and girls who have turned up, you've been forced over here, so thank you, thank you. Right, so a bit about me. My name's Steve. I'm a full-time serving soldier in 29 Commando, and what I specialise in the unit is a bit of SEER training. So I teach soldiers how to survive in sticky situations, whether that be the desert, the Arctic or jungle. But now I'm starting to slow down a bit now. I'm about to retire. So I retire in September after 23 years. So I'm in resettlement at the minute. So that's my unit there, 29 Commando. That's me and my brother. He's took over me in the ranks, the little sprog. He's a lot more better than me, right? He's a lot more well behaved, hasn't been in trouble or been in court martial. So he's done a lot better and took over me in the ranks in the unit. Like I said, all what I do is SEER training. That's me up in Scotland. I train the Americans every year, the USMC. We send them off on a crazy adventure running around the mountains, and I teach them a few skills to stay alive and not get captured by the enemy. That's some of the environments I've been to, in desert environments, lived in Sierra Leone in the jungle in the trees for 3 months, living in snow holes in Norway doing all my Arctic training. Then at the bottom left I got issued the Goshen Medal. So especially the lads in the artillery, you might have heard of this. So the person who gets issued the Goshen Medal is between the rank of a gunner to W1 who's done notable service, and I actually won it, and it only gets issued out every two years. And I actually won it about 2 years ago, and I'm absolutely proud of that for all the crazy stuff I was doing and always volunteering for all the exercises, training all the army units within survival and SEER, and it was absolutely amazing. Now there's my good wife. I got married in the camp 2 years ago, and I'm going to start talking about Naked and Afraid and my adventure in the jungle. But I actually got married in camp 2 days before I flew out with Discovery Channel in the jungle, and there I am on these photos here in camp, and I was absolutely pissed. I couldn't even stand up. I didn't even know what day of the week it was, and I knew I was going out in the jungle 2 days later with Discovery Channel. So I was fat, my uniform didn't fit me properly, all the lads were giving me crap in camp, but I knew I had to get fat for this challenge in the jungle. So that's a bit about my background. So I thought I'd tell you a bit about myself before I go into the story. So as I said, I competed on Discovery Channel's Naked and Afraid, and how that came about. 3 years ago I was absolutely bladdered here at the Bushcraft show. I was drunk around the campfire, and you had these 2 lads at the front, and they were on a live Facebook group with all these American fans who loved the show, and I was drunk, put my head in the screen and said I'll skin a bear with my teeth. And the producer contacted me, so I threw myself in a parapet, didn't I? And this was May. Then I was on the challenge in July, literally a couple of months later. So that's how it all came about. Has anyone ever watched Naked and Afraid? No, do you know what? It's not really known. It's a massive one in America, but it's not really known. But it is really a good challenge. But I'll tell you what Naked and Afraid is. So what Naked and Afraid is, right, is where 2 individuals will get dropped off in a remote location with no food, no clothes, no water. Now there's me now, 23 years in the military, commando, all proud, and I've got the American Discovery in my face. And I was getting bit by bugs to fuck. I was in a bad way, right? I had all insect bites before I even started. I'm flapping on this boat going onto the challenge, thinking, what have I got myself in for? Yeah, I've done months here in the jungle in Sierra Leone, I've lived in Brunei, I've lived in Belize. Now I've got to prove myself with no clothes, with a knife, a fire starter and a pot, fully naked in front of the American audience. And that's it. And the aim of the challenge, you've got to survive 21 days and arrive to a point on the map. And like I said there, the items got given. A knife, a pot, a fire starter, and there's 2 of us. The girl who I was with was a Canadian girl called Sunny. She was absolutely amazing. So our episode was actually called The Runaway Bride. I just got married. 2 days later I was on the challenge. She postponed their wedding. Then we met up naked in the middle of the jungle. And there was nothing to look at. I was cold, right? I'll tell you that now, there was nothing to look at. But it's a bit daunting when there's a camera crew on you. You're walking off in the middle of the jungle, absolutely naked, shaking some girl's hand now, and I've got to go and survive with her now for 21 days with a camera crew following me. Now with the challenge, you've got to go through everything, all the basics what you learn within survival, protect yourself. I got hammered on Twitter and Reddit over this. Bear in mind, my episode was a 2-hour episode. We're there for 500 hours in the jungle. Everyone was like that. I can't believe I never seen him protect myself, no mud. I was covering myself up in mud every day, but bear in mind, you're there for 500 hours, but they're only showing you 2 hours of the show. I was covering my body up every day with mud to protect me from the sun, to protect me from the elements, protect me from the insects. and I was still getting destroyed. And you always got to think of ways when you're out there to protect yourself. Also protection from animals as well. Throughout the show, if you ever watch it, I nearly got eaten by a puma in my sleep. Puma came up in the shelter, I couldn't even see my hand in front of my face, and started trying to bite my head through the side of the shelter, which was absolutely crazy.
What did you do?
But what I actually did, I started screaming at first. So I done this story here last year with the scouts. Me and Jamie were here with the scouts last year, and I told them the truth at the start. But you never let the truth get in the way of a good dit, do you? So my story started elaborating each time. So what actually happened, the puma's head came in my shelter, and I couldn't see anything. All I was seeing, I leaned out the fire and seeing the glistening of the cat's eyes from the fire. And I look and I panic, started screaming, banging the shelter, going, ah! And then it ran away. Then I spoke to the producer the next day and I said, there was something coming in my shelter, can you check the cameras? And he goes, yeah, I'll check it. He goes and checks the cameras, comes up to me and goes, Steve, make sure your fire's bigger. I go, what was it? He goes, I can't tell you. Just make sure you've got a big fire wire out here. So there's me panicking, and that was like on day 3. There's me panicking for another 17 days thinking, what the fuck is crawling around here, checking me out? I never knew what it was till I came out the challenge, and we had our after party, and the producer comes up to me and shows me a massive puma. But how he edited it, it was only that short, came in my shelter, but it was coming up prowling us for ages and probing the shelter. But you see it actually on the TV show, you see it come in, you see me panic. But like I was saying, when I was talking about this with the scouts the other month, I started elaborating the story. I jumped out, done a backflip, roundhouse, kicked the puma in the face, and honestly the kids thought I was Superman. Every day you've got to hunt as well. You've got to constantly keep chasing it. I never sat still for 21 days. There's a lot of rules though. There's a lot of rules when you're doing these shows. They've got to abide by the law. So a week before, we were out in Holland, me and Sam, we were working with a survival company called Elite Survival. And I was with one of the lads who taught me loads of traps. So I had an intense trapping training before I went out. And I learned all these spring traps, punji pits, getting loads of ideas off Trev, learning all snare traps. When I went out there, the producer says to me, right, there's a lot of laws, you're not allowed to do any strangle traps. It's like, I've been pestering everyone, thinking I was going to have to do all these punji pits like Predator, people falling in the holes and all that, and I weren't allowed to do any of it. He goes, can you make cages and baskets? And that's what I did, that's all I was allowed to do out there. But I had this big vision in my head, Predator, spikes going to fly out of trees and take all these animals out, but that got pushed straight out the window. And when I was on there, you've got to constantly prepare yourself for all conditions. The floor was hard to walk on. Has anyone ever walked in the jungle with no shoes on? It's not nice, it looks all nice when you're watching on telly, you're seeing a bit of mud, but it was lava rocks in Colombia. You pull the grass back and it was sharp. My feet were absolutely killing me, so I made some jungle kicks, cutting around in the jungle with my little shoes. What I done, I used loads of vines, wrapped it all up, then I took some bark from the Marichi palm, tied it all on, and I had some decent air kicks in the jungle. I started making fish baskets, but never worked. Now I've used this type of fish basket all over the world with the military, and I've caught stuff. Now it looks all, it's funny, right, when I was getting a message going, oh, why didn't you make that trap on day 1? Oh, it's well and good to make a trap on day 1. All my wood is brittle. Every time I pulled a vine out of the tree, it'd snap. So I had to get all the vines, put it in water, put rocks on it, and soak it for 4 days before I could even use it. And everyone thinks you can just build traps daily, but it's the prep time what takes all the time out of it. And there was a lot of rules. So yeah, I was making baskets. How many fish do you think I caught with a basket? Not one. Not one in 21 days, and there's me buzzing with my basket thinking, oh, I've got this smashed and looking good in front of the Discovery Channel. I'm showing them what the British military do, showing all these Americans what we do. I never caught nothing in 21 days. But what do you think's in the water in the Amazon? What's in the water where I am in Colombia? What do you think's in there? Anaconda. There's one of them, yeah. What else? Snakes, yeah. Caiman, a big massive crocodilian, stingray, piranha. So every time I was getting in the water, what do you think was getting in the water? The caiman off the banks. So it was like a little game. I'm going there with my basket, looking, trying to look brave in front of the cameraman and all these Americans, thinking, I want to show these what the Brits are all about. I'll get in the water and then I'll run back out thinking, nah, I'm not doing that. And they'd be egging me on, going, Steve, go in there. I'm like, look at the caiman all on the banks. Every time I got in, they'll get in and lake around me. Not letting one of these 6-foot caiman pull me under the water. But I did end up going in there, I'd run in there dead quick, put my basket in and peg it off with a stick so I could always see where it was. But yeah, 21 days, never caught nothing out of it. But I did end up using it for other traps, but they don't show on the show. Now, fighting through adversity. Who's ever been bit by a midge up in Scotland? Oh, now look at that times 1,000 when you're fully naked in the Amazon jungle in the middle of the Columbia and you're getting bit all day, every day. All day, every day. Now in my head, I was crying, but in front of the cameraman, I was smiling like I was the happiest man in the world. Honestly, it plays with your mind, and going through that challenge, I learned so much about myself, and I was always thinking, I don't think anything can break me now going through that, and that was hardship. And all the stuff I've done throughout the military and throughout my life, that was probably one of the most mentally trained, I think that was probably online going through commando training, mentally. It was just all day, zzz, in my ears, something biting me, something stinging me. On night 2, I was lying on the floor. Did you see the ants what the Amazonians were cooking up? Bullet ants, did anyone try them? Me and Trev were scranning them yesterday when we were getting drunk. Bullet ants, the reason why they're called bullet ants because it's like someone shot you. On day 2, I actually got bit on the back lying on the floor by a bullet ant, and I was in absolute clip. I was in absolute clip for about 4 hours screaming. I'm happy they never showed that because I was trying to be brave every day on there, but it was constantly fighting through adversity, and that was my biggest adversity and enemy out there was insect bites. There's more to come with the insect bites. And all I was doing was carrying on. I was bit everywhere. It bit me in a good place, but swelled up and made it look a bit bigger for me. And that was the only good thing it did for me.
Oh my god.
And no matter what, and this was me on the extraction on day 1, I had bites upon bites upon bites, and my actually feet swelled up. The doctor came in, on about day 17, got his thumb and stuck it in my foot because they were like big balloons, and the indentation stayed in my foot. And he goes, "You alright?" I go, "I'm sound." In my head I was crying. "I'm absolutely sound, mate." He goes, "I'm a bit worried by it." I'm going, "Mate, I'm absolutely sound. I'll run up and down these mountains all day and I'll carry my partner all day on it." And he was getting worried about it. So what I had to make a bench to start draining the fluid out of my foot. Cause I thought the medics might pull me out, but inside myself I felt good. My body was reacting. So I made some nice little bench. And I have my feet up every day. You see the bench on the show, but you don't see me put my feet up. And I'd put my feet up lying on the floor and just drain my feet every day. But it was hard to walk as well. Your feet are swollen, you're feeling every little stone, every little cut. But it was good experience to play with your mind, see if you've got it. Fear gives you survival instincts. So there's me now with my basket, trying to catch fish. The cameraman threw his little GoPros in there. I was like, "This is not going to work now." And put my basket in there looking through it like a divvy. Didn't catch nothing on it. That picture there where you see my eyes popping out of the back of my head, that's when I caught an iguana. On day 17 or day 18 I caught an iguana. And that was the first bit of meat I had. And I just scranned it. And honestly it tasted like chicken, proper oily chicken. And I thought my eyes were going to fall out my head. But we never just lived on that iguana, we were catching stuff, but it didn't show you on there. I was eating lizards, I was living off crickets and locusts, big fat locusts, and I was getting a stick, throwing them all on there like a skewer, just cooking them over the fire and scranning it, and that was sustaining me all the time. I was finding morici fruit, I was finding agave, I was finding figs, I found sugar cane, I found a plant that was like shampoo, you could pull it all out and you could clean all your hair in it. We were learning with John on Wildways, there was that pigment in it, I forgot the name. You're going to beast me now because he's training me on my bushcraft course. He's going to hammer me now because I forgot the pigment. But I was pulling out all this stuff where I could clean all my hair with, it was all soapy, but it didn't show all that. Right, here's the Naked and Afraid Survival Kit. I like this one. So there's one of the things I made and we're going to talk about it dead quick. We got fresh water from the rain for the first time, so I'm just going to make my rain catcher. We wanted to do this for the last 10 days because of the rainwater and drink it straight off. So we're not wasting a lot of time collecting water, boiling water, waiting for it to cool down. This is going to cut our time in half.
Dude, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's the coolest thing I've ever seen. You're brilliant.
Very good.
Oh man, I'm so pumped for that.
Oh. Steve's got a rain catcher. Steve's got a rain catcher. Right, I actually made 10 of them. It didn't show, but I actually made 10 of them. And what I've done is smashed up termite mounds. And I made little bowls of termite mounds. And I had 10 of them on the floor. And I was catching rainwater. I had a bamboo shoot. And I was just sucking water out of it. Me and my partner every day, me and Sonny. Why do you think I built that? Can anyone tell me? I started thinking of survival. What do you think's in the trees in the jungle? Monkeys. What do you think the monkeys are doing in the trees? Pissing and shitting. So I couldn't collect rainwater from under the canopy, and every time I went in the water to scoop up my water, the caiman were getting in one to eat me. So I was getting my water and I was getting fresh water, and that's why I made that. I made rain catchers. I had 10 of them, and it was nice because we had torrential rainfall every night. I mean, my partner every morning, but I shoot suck out all our bowls. I'm not going to lie though, my bowl was an absolute mess. So my partner, she made a good one. She ended up digging up loads of clay, making nice ones. I just smashed up termite mounds, and they were practical. There was nothing fancy about it, but it done the job for me. I had 10 of them packed in rainwater. And I embraced the whole journey. I lost quite a bit of weight on that. When you see it in a minute, I'm going to show you my PSR at the end of it, which is your primitive survival rating and your weight loss. They actually got it wrong because the doctor couldn't understand me, and we'll talk about the doctor another day. These lads know about it. If you want to speak to me at the bar or something like that, we'll talk about what happened with the doctor at the very end of the challenge. But I absolutely loved it. What worked for me, what was really good for me is solidified what I've learned throughout the military. Just on the run, surviving off the ground with bare minimum kit, and that's what I really enjoyed about it. And you've got to celebrate the small wins. Look at the size of that fish. I didn't even catch nothing in my basket, so I used my little bag and I caught a minnow. And they done a big thing when they were on the show, didn't they? That was my first fish I caught, and I was buzzing. I felt like I caught a tin of tuna, and it filled me up after that one little bite. But I'd go with my little bag, and I'd collect about 10 to 50 of them a day, and I'd get morichi fruit, squash all these little tiny minnows in the morichi fruit, get loads of leaves and roast them on the embers in my fire, and they were like little fruit pouches, little fruit pockets, and I'd scran loads of them. It was really good, it was. And I never quit, got through it, lost load of weight, got bits of hell, I really enjoyed it. By my weight loss, like I said, the weight loss is wrong here. It said 13 pounds, I was actually 13 kilograms I lost, but I don't think the Colombian doctor understood the word I was saying. Now, bear in mind, we're English, this is our accent. I'm on an American show and he put subtitles on me for the whole of it. And on Twitter everyone's saying, or on the Facebook post, but I was so glad for that, I couldn't understand the word he was saying. I'm speaking full-on English. Then my PSR, it's called Primitive Survival Rating, happy with that, got 7.5, and hopefully if they invite me back in the future, hopefully build on that. But Naked and Afraid weren't enough. I ended up doing another one on our channel E4 called Naked Alone. Now on Naked and Afraid, that's Blade. It's a Blade family show. Naked Alone's not Blade. And before you don't tune in and watch it right, I was on season 1, episode 1. I was a very cold man. So up in Scotland, right, I was a very cold man. And on this challenge, it was a 3-day race up in the Cairngorms, and you had to race from A to B, and you had to get items and build shelters. Now when I went through the auditions for it, the producer says to me, "Do you know any women who'll be up for doing it?" And my missus is sitting next to me, "Oh yeah, my missus will go for it." And she agreed, not thinking we'll get on it. Not thinking we about people running around the mountains. She absolutely hated it, crying her eyes up the whole way through it. That's our little shelter, but on this one we got given boots. We were naked, but we got given boots, and built a nice little A-frame, freezing, eating all the little blackberries up over there, eating nettles, rosemary. That was alright, it was hardcore though. Then we reaped the rewards. I actually got a pig on it. Hacked the pig up, and I took the leg off the pig, gave it to my missus. She looked at me, nearly fainted on telly, and then walked off. And I opened the eyes, looked at it, and she seen these bright blue eyes. She was, "Oh my god, look at the eyes," started nearly vomiting on telly. But yeah, I ended up winning an axe, which got me to go and get a pig and hack up a pig, which is really good. Now doing all this, doing these has pushed me to set up a company. Now I run my own company now alongside the army. Like I said, I retire from the military in September, and hopefully I'm going to run my survival company full time. I do loads of more extreme stuff, kids events, military style, cams up, crawling around the woods, having a bit of banter, and that's what I do. We teach adults, children, basic survival skills through my company South for Survival. And what I'm trying to do now, I've been trying to learn on my knowledge. I've been going through the last year and a half with Wildways Bushcraft. I'm all well and good with the survival what we do in the military, but I wanted to enhance my skills. Last year and a half I've been working with Wildways, John and Paul, and they've been thrashing me in the woods, teaching me loads of skills. So hopefully, if Discovery Channel bring me back, you might see some bushcraft skills instead of me being rough, running around like a lunatic with a knife.
They can keep clothes on, mate.
Yeah, I might have to get naked in your woods with you next time. But I'm not plugging you, John, but if anyone's interested in bushcraft, his company is absolutely amazing. I've learned loads the last year and a half, met some amazing people. And that's it. If you want to follow all my crazy adventures, that's me across social media, survival_stay. And hopefully you might see something soon on Discovery Channel, a bit more extreme. But that's it from me. Any questions?
Hey! Hey! Hey, get off!
Thank you very much for everyone's come over, and if anyone's got any questions, you're more than welcome.
So how did you get on with the nudity? Like being a commando and everything, all them toga nights.
Obviously, I've been in the military for 23 years and getting naked is part of our ritual. It is a bit awkward when you first do it. You're there and you've got a camera crew in front of you, and getting your kit off's not normal, is it? It's not normal. And my daughter's not a big fan of it all anyway. Her dad's a nudist survivalist, and I'm not a naturist. I'm quite shy. I'm like, Sam, if someone gets in a urinal next to you, I'm like that, I want to move one down. Like, well, you're getting next to me, but I can go on national TV and get naked with no blare on it. You know what I mean? So I'm not a nudist, but what I can say, the production crew and the camera crew are absolutely amazing. So professional. You don't even know you're naked after 5 minutes.
So, how many poops?
Everyone always asks this question. I'll tell you the truth, right? I never went to the toilet once in 21 days. Never went to the toilet once in 21 days.
So what was the hardest part of the challenge? Like Jen, like...
So the hardest part for me was the insect bite. I didn't mind it. I've got experience in it. I've been in a lot of jungles on a lot longer, but I've had all the equipment being with my unit. I've done Belize, done Brunei, done Sierra Leone. So I've got a lot of experience in environments, but it was just the bug bites. The bug bites was the hardest part for me. It was just more of a mental game. That's what done me in, like. But I was always smiling every day. I've got to show them what the British Army are all about, haven't I? I've got to show these Americans what we do.
Do you have any lasting conditions after your challenge?
Have I got any lasting conditions? I don't know, you know, I probably have because I go to the toilet maybe once a month now.
Block the toilet up. That's a story, innit?
Yeah. Anything else?
We'd like to know about the doctor, but maybe we'll save that.
No, we have to use know about the doctor. I can't say it in this audience.
Did you have any like moments of like awe, like?
So when I finished it, I've been a fan of that show for 12, 13 years since it started. And one of the stars of the show, EJ Snyder, he's done loads of stuff on Discovery. I've been a massive fan of him. He was 25 years US Ranger, so a bit of sort of same background as me, seeing instructor. So I was in awe of him all the time. And he come over to the UK a couple of years, about 9 years ago, come to one of my survival events, and he lived in my house. Got him in camp, got him a room in camp, stayed there for a few days with his missus. And then the fact I went and done it and got to the end, I was like, oh, happy days. And I thought it was absolutely amazing. That was the good all moments.
So, if you'd have had your pick of places to go in the world, like, would you have just picked Colombia, or would you have picked like a desert? Like, what would be your where does your skill set, where's it optimised for? Do you think?
I feel like I'm confident in any environment. I'm confident in my own ability, in my mindset. I think that's what it comes down to with survival. It's all about in your head. You don't have to have all the best skills in the world, but if you can fight through with your mindset, so I don't really care. But if I could pick, I wouldn't go to a jungle first. I wouldn't go to any jungle naked.
Is there anything else that you're lining up for, like your next challenge that you think about where there is next?
Well, I don't want to say too much, but
Spill the beans!
I've learned a few things up, and something might come out on Discovery Channel in July. That was a lot longer. It was in a totally different area. That was 21 days, it was a lot longer than that. Don't want to say too much here, but you're going to have to tune in.
Where can we watch your episode?
Oh, look at that, he's plugging it. Season 17, episode 5, Discovery Channel Plus. Or E4, season 1, episode 1, and Naked and Afraid. Oh, sorry, Naked and Alone. Anyone? Have I bored you enough now?
How did you feel about your item selection for your team? So what was it? It was knife, pot, fire starter. Did you have a fourth item?
Yeah, they give us a mosquito net which didn't do anything for me. Burnt on the fire, ripped open and everything. So it was an absolute trip. So we don't talk about that.
So like, if you had to pick again, would you take something? What would you take?
Knife, nah, I'll take your knife, your life. That's the saying. Your knife's your life. You can do so much. You can dig with it. You can chop things with it. You can cut things with it. You can fillet things with it. You can stick it in a tree, use it as a climbing tool. Your knife's your life.
Good work.
You happy?
Have you come across many tick bites?
Any which?
Bites from ticks?
Ticks? Not really, but if you go and watch his episodes, Sam went and done it, he ended up getting bit on the dick. And it was actually on telly with a massive tick on his belly.
It's nothing but
Tick on his dick.
The size of a
Tick on his
horseshoe
dick.
crab, it's like your thumbnail.
Is everyone happy? Thank you very much for your time, much appreciated. I'm going to head back to Plymouth now and be back being a soldier tomorrow morning, but thank you very much.
Hey!
Steve.
Yeah, mate, yeah.
This way. Yes, of course. I'll do you a landscape.
You're going to have to get me a picture on the stage.
Yes, of course.
You sing it?
Have you got the
jelly thing in the background?
No, you can't hear it, but I can hear it.
Stand on the street, give me that. Cheers, mate. Yes, Steve.
Good to see you again, mate. I'll see you soon, of course, soon.
No more I won't thrash you again. Send you running again. Thanks very much. Thank you. You're going to have to give me a photo on the stage, though.
Yeah.
Just standing on the stage.
That was good. Nice. I did that one. That was brilliant. Hold on, Steve. Grab the mic like you're talking.
I grab the mic. I'm acting.
Do a bit of acting. Shabba.
Go for the pose.
Do point to one. It's some acting stuff there.
Well, hey!
If you want to make it look like it's all in the background.